r/Tales from Tech Support. Don't bother sending a tech. I'll be dead by then. So my story starts on what was a normal day taking calls on the front line for a large cable company. The job pays well and for the most part the people I deal with are fairly nice to talk to. Quite often we'll get calls from seniors, especially in the morning, who have premise equipment issues such as snow on screen or no signal on their TV sets connected to our digital equipment. Now my heart does go out to some of these folk because up until recently, past few years we would supply straight analog cable to many homes, coax direct from wall to TV with scrolling guide. However, most cities we service nowadays require our digital equipment to receive channels, and this has caused a lot of frustration with older people who don't know how to operate said equipment, i.e. always having your TV set on video or me to get picture. So oftentimes we get customers who are repeat offenders with long ticket histories of these types of issues. So anyway, I get a call from an older gentleman who's quite bitter and mean right off the bat. Doesn't like that I asked for his address, telephone number to verify the account. Hates that he has to speak with a machine before reaching an agent, etc. I have some experience handling these types of customers. However, this call was going to be a little different. I spent over 45 minutes with this guy. We'll call him Mr. Smith, trying to get his TV set connected to the digital box properly so he could receive a picture. No luck. He was getting clearly frustrated by the whole ordeal and started blaming me for not being able to do my job properly, how I was useless, etc. Whatever. Like I said, I've dealt with this before, so I tried my best not to take it personally, but eventually I had to ask him if we could book a service tech to the home, a courtesy call, to get his TV working correctly. Unfortunately, our booking calendar was showing an appointment 3 days out. That's when he dropped this on me. Don't bother sending a goddamn technician, because I'll be dead by then. I'm 94 and TV is the only thing I have left. Are you really going to make me wait for a tech? I instantly felt bad. I mean, I've heard every complaint in the book as to why people don't want to wait for a tech, but this one kind of got to me. I'm in my mid-20s, so honestly I can't even imagine how it must feel to utter those words. So I spoke with my supervisor, who said they'd see if we could get someone out earlier, but we couldn't promise anything. So I let Mr. Smith know, and he was predictably not very happy with my answer. At that point it almost sounded like he started to cry and went into how he has no family left, and no friends that come visit. This was after I asked if there was anyone in his building that might be able to help. Man, I felt terrible. So I took it upon myself to ask Mr. Smith if I could pay a visit. He lived in a small city over from where I was, not very far to drive. He was a little shocked I was willing to do this, but sounded thankful I was willing to come out and help him personally. So I head over, get to the residence and meet him. Within 30 seconds I had the cable running again, simple input change, and even brought him a simplified remote for his set-top box to avoid this problem in the future. That's when he started crying. He goes into how he hasn't actually spoken or really interacted with anyone for years. He gave me a hug and told me how thankful he was that I came out and helped him, and told me how sorry he was for being so mean earlier on. I said it was no problem and I was happy to help. And that was it. I left 3 weeks later. My supervisor comes to my desk and asks me if I could come speak with her for a bit about an account for Mr. Smith. Turns out, he sent the cable company a letter outlining how thankful he was for helping him with his issue and how it really made an old man happy again for once in a very long time. The letter was framed and put on our front entrance to retail. I guess the moral of this story is no matter how nasty someone is to you over the phone, sometimes they're not always a terrible person and just going through a lot. I still think about Mr. Smith occasionally when I get those nasty customers and it makes me feel a little better. Anyway, thanks for reading. Just thought I'd share how this one call changed my outlook on life. FWD. I need you to stop my employee from working immediately. Long in keeping with my tendency to share these stories immediately when I'm reminded of them, I must confess that I posted this once already as a comment in our gaming without even thinking of you guys. Sorry about that. So anyway, I was a tier 1 phone jockey and this was my first adult job after college. So you can imagine how surprised and nervous I was when one day I get an email with the subject line FWD. Disable Facebook now. It was written just like that. In all caps. 2. Or maybe 3. Exclamation points. Inside, there was a long message chain containing an extended rant from our marketing executive, MKT, sent to the CEO, replied to, forwarded to the CIO, replied to, forwarded to my manager, and then kicked down to me with no explanation. My manager did this kind of thing a lot. Rather than open a ticket in the ticketing system, he insisted we use a certain way, or explain anything in his emails. He would simply forward us an email chain of a conversation he'd been having with some store or department manager, some executive, or some vendor, and we'd have to read through all of it to figure out what he wanted. This email was one of those. And since it had come from people up the chain from him, I had to read through all of his pathetic groveling and deferential boot-licking to reach the part where he made his unqualified promises about what I'll do in how much time. Eventually, I surmised the following. MKT is upset that his employees are spending work time on social media. He has decided that this is all IT's fault. He wants social media disabled on all computers. He sent this complaint to the CEO. Because it's not good enough to contact IT and open a ticket to get something done, he has to try to get someone fired while he's at it. Okay, fine. We actually had WebSense. So I wrote up a ticket, opened up the admin console in WebSense, and added Facebook's URL to the blacklist. Done and done. I reply all to the message chain and let the executives know that we're good. Immediately I got hammered with replies from the CEO, my manager, and MKT, who had made the request. They all wanted to know why I disabled Facebook on their machines. Exercising all the restraint I had, I apologized and explained that when they said disable Facebook on all computers, I didn't realize that they meant for there to be exceptions to the rule. I grabbed one of our tier 3 guys and he helped me set up Mac filtering in WebSense. We made a group for the executives and managers to be accepted from the social media blackout, and then blocked Twitter, Instagram, and all the other common social media sites while we were at it. Thinking the issue has now been properly dealt with, I updated the executives, who seem placated, updated the ticket, and then closed it. 15 minutes later, a red-faced young woman, SMM, appeared in the IT office. She's from marketing and was upset because she couldn't reach Facebook or Twitter. I gently explained that those had just been blocked at the request of her department's exec. SMM. But you're not supposed to block me. I'm a social media manager. It's my job to be on Facebook. Now I can't work me. Oh. Hang on. I placed a quick speakerphone call to MKT and got his admin assistant. MKT's office. Me. Yeah. Can I speak with MKT? It's about the Facebook blackout he requested. Oh yeah. He's pretty upset about that. Of course. Me. Can I speak to him after a minute? She got him on the line. MKT. Rathwood. Glad you finally got it right. Me. Sir? SMM is in my office right now. MKT. So? Tell her to get back to work. Me. Sir. She can't. She says it's her job to run the company's social media pages and she can't work now because of the block. Do I have your permission to unblock her? MKT. Me. MKT. You mean we're paying someone to be on Facebook? Me. She works for your department. So MKT. Unblock her for now. And tell her to come see me in my office. Me. Okay. I turned to look at SMM. And she was already walking out. Me. Hey, are you alright? She turned back to me. SMM. I'm fine. This is the third time this month that dinosaur has forgotten that I work here. I'm used to explaining my job to him. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Reddit content.